Hello everyone, I'm creating this screencast to teach everyone how to use Classroom Dojo and all the wonderful things it has to offer for you in your classroom. Getting started, you would need an email and a password to create your login. It does not have to be your school email, but it can be. When you log in, your screen will look like it does here. It will give you a chance to find your school. Then at the bottom, it will have a demo classroom already there for you, and you will add your classroom and begin putting in your students. So for this screencast, I'm going to use my demo class. So you would click on that, and here it already has some students listed. If you wanted to add, click the plus sign to add a student. And you would type in their first and last name. I'm just going to use myself. You have to click down right here where it has the light blue and add yourself. Then it comes up with you and a character. Then you're going to click save. Then there you have your new student. When you have your full classroom entered in and everything's there, you can begin to create the points that you want to give. So in order to do that, you're going to go to settings. You're going to go to edit class and going to go here where it says skills. Here it has the positive and the need work skills that you can have. These are some basic skills that it already has listed for you. You can edit the ones that it has, and you can also add new skills. So if I'm going to add a skill, you're going to click the plus, add skill. You can name your skill whatever you would like to name it. So I'm going to name mine completed homework. So that maybe every week or every day, however you want to do it, if you wanted to give the students a point who turned in their homework or completed their homework for the week. You also then have the choice to weigh the points, whatever you want to weigh it. I'm going to choose 2 for that. You also can change the picture if you would like to change the picture. You would just click and you can come up with something, find something that you think fits that. I'm going to choose this with the check since this is about homework. You would click save, and there you have your new skill. You would do the same thing for needs work skills. You would just click here, add a skill. I'm going to choose, I have one in my classroom that I have as disrespectful. So that means like if it's, one of the big skills that when students are being completely out of control and disrespectful, you can have that as something that you take points for. And for me, that is, I take the most points for that if it gets to that point, and that has to be done. So here, I'm going to keep the bell as my picture, and I'm going to click save. And there you have the needs work skill. In this area where you clicked on edit class, you also can change the name of your class, change the grade, your picture, and all of that here. You can enter students in this screen as well. Parents, you can begin to invite parents. You can use their phone number or their email when you are adding parents. You can click by the child's name when you get ready to do that. It says enter parent email or phone, and it will send them an invite, and they can see the things that the children are doing in Dojo from the app on their phone or things like that. Also, so if I want to give a student a point, I can click on them and say I want to give Bradley a point for being on task. I would just click it, and it would make that sound. You do have the choice for it to not make the sound if you don't want it to make the sound, or however you want to do that. If I want to take a point from Bradley, I would do the same. I just click on the needs work side and click that, and it makes that sound as well. So then at the end of the day, you would have points given or taken, whatever, for all of your students, and they would have different amounts of points. Okay, now this all goes into your whole class total, which you can use as rewards daily or weekly or however you want to. If you want to use that, you can set a goal for your whole class, tell them that they need to have a certain number of points by the end of the week to earn some treat or earn something fun. You also can set it individually. I set mine individually. Students have to have at least 20 points at the end of the week to participate in Fun Friday, because essentially they're earning those points Monday through Thursday. Now, that's something you would base on how often you give out points and how you do that in your classroom. You also can put students into groups, and you would just click from the Students tab to the Groups tab. You can put them in their tables or how they sit in the classroom, their reading or math groups, or however you want to do that. You would just add it the same way. You create a group name, and it lists all the students, and you put them in whatever group you want to put them in. So if I wanted to put these 2 people in a group, these 3 people in a group, and name it Table 3, it would just create the group, and now you have that different group added. Now, on the computer, it's listed at the bottom. You click Attendance, and it highlights it green to show present, red is absent, yellow is late, yellow-green means that they left early. So you take your attendance for the day or whatever, however you want to do it. Then you would save attendance, and that way it shows all of their bubbles listed. Now, say one of these students was absent. You would click and it would turn red, and then when you save it, they're not highlighted anymore. So when you are taking or giving points to the whole class, then they're not rewarded or punished for that, and it doesn't affect their scores. So like if I gave my whole class a point for being on task, it gives everybody a point, but Hallie doesn't get a point because she's not here today. So it just makes it easier when you're going to look for Friday to see who earned Fun Friday. If she wasn't there, then you know why she doesn't have as many points, and maybe you want to take that into account. Also, you can select multiple students at a time to give points to. Say you're walking down the hall and you're checking to see who's walking down the hall correctly. You could check the names, and as you're walking down the hall and you get to the end, you're like, oh, well, thank you, Bradley and Cameron. You were walking down the hall correctly, and you can give them the points for that. And it doesn't give it to anyone else. It would just give it to them. Now, random, say you're in the classroom and everyone's on task and everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you click random. Then it's going to come up with a random student and say it shows up Bradley, and you're like, is Bradley doing what he's supposed to? And you notice that he is. So then you take that opportunity to give Bradley a point. Now, this is something that you can do again and pick another student and see if they're on task when it gets to them, or however you want to use that. You have the timer down here at the bottom. You can use that for your groups, for your centers. It will go off and it will make a sound just like any other timer. I'm going to set it for a minute and see when it goes off. You'll see what it does. Also down here at the bottom, there are the Big Ideas tab. Now this is going to take you to a new screen where you can use these videos in your classroom. It has growth mindset, perseverance, empathy, and gratitude videos if you're teaching these things to your students. If you're teaching these things to your students, it's a good way to good thing to show at the beginning of the year. It also has amazing ways to use Class Dojo, share student classwork, getting started, class story cards, and there's some storytelling videos. And you would just click these and it has the different videos there. I'm going to exit out of this tab and go back here. Now, here is where you could go into student mode. And there goes our timer, and that's what it would be like in your classroom. But we also can go here. These are your stories. This is where you can share what's happening in your classroom, and your parents that are registered and signed up with you can see what's going on in your room. So you could say, like, today we made spring flower paintings. And then you could add a photo of the paintings and you could post it. And what happens is it comes up like this, kind of like it does on social media. Parents can see it, they can like, they can comment on it, or however they want to do that. Students in student mode could like, comment on it, or whatever they need to do. Also, you have the message tab, which is where you can message parents that are signed up to be included in your classroom. You can send them messages like announcements about field trips or something like that, or individual messages if you are unable to reach them on the phone. If you have something that you need to let them know about behavior or something like that, you can also post that here, and that would go straight to the parent. It wouldn't be posted publicly for anyone else to see. Also, lastly, I would like to show you the reports area. This right here is the reports. And click view reports, and it tells you a whole lot of things about your classroom. This is the area that I use to find out who earned the points for Fun Friday at the end of the week, because I reset the points every day, because they also have to have like a certain number of points to play at recess or to have snack for that individual day. And if you don't delete it, they get kind of confused being young with the younger kids about keeping up with the different daily goals. So when you pull it up, it automatically comes up for the week, and it goes by first name. Now, you still want it to go by the week if you're looking at for Fun Friday, and you can go to highest combined. And for that whole week, it will tell you how many points total that each one of your students earned. You can look for the day, and it will tell you. You can look for yesterday, this week, last week, the whole month, last month. All time means from the moment you put in all your students, or from the moment that student was put in to now. Custom date range, you can put in any from this date to this date that you choose. Now this donut here will tell you the number of positive points and the number of negative points in the percentage that they were earned for that day or whatever you have this put on. It will do that for your whole class. It will do that for each individual student, and that tells you that they got most of their points from being on task. They got some points from completing homework, and there was also a percentage that was negative for being off task. And it will tell you that for each student or for your whole class for any date range that you choose it to be. And these can be also viewed in a spreadsheet, and you can also print these. So the reports are very useful. They could be used in parent conferences, anything like that if they needed to be. Down here at the bottom, it gives you a full layout of what they were given points for and what points were taken for. And then when you want to exit out of that, you just exit out. So this is pretty much Classroom Dojo in a nutshell. I hope that this helps anyone who's just starting out with Dojo and motivates you to get started. So I wish you the best of luck with that.